the game is balanced. It's a 50-50 game. Both teams are not too solid for me.
Welcome to Tactics and Touchlines. Today we are talking about the EPL, and the EPL is back. After a long international break, we are back to some amazing games coming up. We have Man United against Manchester City, which is the biggest game of the week. I'll go to Raf and find out from him. He was talking about Isak joining Liverpool, and finally, Isak is a Liverpool player wearing the number 9 shirted jersey. We'll ask him, should Isak start their game against Burnley, or should they rest him because he hasn't had enough minutes for Newcastle and also for the Sweden national team? So first, let's look at some of the fixtures that will be coming up for the weekend. Then we'll go into details on what we should expect from some of the games coming up. So on Saturday, 11:30, we have Arsenal against Nottingham Forest. We have Bournemouth against Brighton and Hove Albion. We have Crystal Palace against Sunderland, Everton, Aston Villa, Fulham, Leeds, Newcastle, Wolves, West Ham, Tottenham, Brentford, Chelsea. And on Sunday, we have Burnley, Liverpool, and the biggest game of the week, that is Manchester City against Man United. I want us to firstly start from the Arsenal Nottingham Forest game. And Raf, Ange Postecoglou has now joined Nottingham Forest with Nuno Espirito Santo leaving them. We all know that wasn't due to a bad coaching. That's why Nuno was sacked. It was due to a misunderstanding between him and the club CEO. That's why he has been sacked. Looking at Nottingham Forest, do you think Ange can come into the team and continue what Nuno Espirito Santo did? And also, can he also set them on that level to win a trophy as he always does in the second season?
It's really sad. I'm really sad for the Nottingham Forest supporters and also their fan base, and also, I mean, the whole team itself, including the playing body. Nuno Espirito Santo is a manager who likes to work with players who he personally likes. For example, we saw him at Wolves. That he built a solid team at Wolves. The Raul Jimenez, the João Neves,
even Jota.
Diogo Jota was his player. I mean, solid team. Adam Monterrey and the rest, and we saw how they were able to come together and play. I mean, it was fantastic. He went to Tottenham Hotspur. Things didn't work too well for him as a manager due to some reasons, right? But he got himself in a Nottingham Forest team whereby he was asked to take charge or be in charge of everything football at a club level. And look at how he has been able to shape and mold Nottingham Forest into a top side. Liverpool lost only one game at Anfield last season in the league, and it was against Nottingham Forest. That should tell you the sort of quality the man has in his team.
Yeah.
Look, some players play for managers. There are some managers who have that character and they can be able to convince players to play for them. And Nuno Espirito Santo is one, Jurgen Klopp is one. They know they have a good rapport and a good relationship with the player. Therefore, when the players are playing for them, they don't think twice. They go in for the manager. And Nuno Espirito Santo. So it's rather unfortunate the CEO had that misunderstanding with Nuno Espirito Santo, and he has left. With Postecoglou, I'm sorry, he can't be able to match up to the sort of quality that Espirito Santo had in the team. Look, I've watched Nottingham Forest. They are solid defensively, very quick on the break. Look, the system and the styles he plays for the Nottingham Forest is totally different from what Postecoglou is coming to do. Bearing in mind that Postecoglou didn't have a preseason with the team, this is one of the worst decisions a team could make in terms of replacing their manager. No matter the issue, they should have at least Nuno Espirito Santo. I'm so disappointed in the team, and I feel Postecoglou, with all due respect to him, he might find it, because the boy really bonded well with Nuno Espirito Santo. The Aina guy, the Chris Wood, Murillo, fine players. He has been able to make these players into top stars, right? So are they coming to start afresh? How are they going to bond well with Postecoglou? How is the rapport going to be like?
He made Odoi
exactly
from
Odoi.
Langa, all those guys.
Exactly. Yeah. I follow Nottingham on YouTube and also the other socials. You can see the bonding whenever they have a game training. Look, it's fantastic. So this manager leaving is a big blow for Nottingham, and I'm not too sure. I don't know, but I feel he might not be able to survive and succeed at Nottingham Forest.
Okay, Prince, let's look at from your end. Arsenal are playing a new coach coming into the Premier League, coming into this Nottingham Forest setup. We know Ange has been in the Premier League with Tottenham. His first season, he had a better 10 games into the season, performed so well, couldn't win anything. In the second season, he won something and was sacked. Do you think his philosophy of attacking will worry this Nottingham Forest team that are always known for sitting back, defending and hitting teams on the counter attack?
I think one advantage we should look out here is with the fact that this is not his second season at Nottingham. This is his first season, so he might barely go home with nothing. So and with the system of playing all out, trying to if you look at how he was playing at Tottenham, he was going all out. He doesn't like to sit deep. He always want to have a system that is always convinced about. Whether he's losing, whatever is happening, he stick with the system. It doesn't change. And bear in mind, he's meeting an Arsenal team that has a very solid defensive setup. So this is a team that would like to hold him up and probably use their counter attack on him. And I don't know how you come in this time around. I don't know how he's going to set the team, because this is a manager that's been appointed just some few days ago, and he hasn't had any preseason with the team. He hadn't had this. I don't know how, because these players are just coming back from international break. How are you going to gel with these players? How are you going to and your first game is against Arsenal. That's a very tough side, and I really don't know how Angie is going to set up against Arsenal. But however he wants to set up, I think he might not pick up any points at the Emirates, and it's just unfortunate. Probably some few games he might build up momentum with the players and a system, and they get to understand how he plays. And it's unfortunate they had to let Nuno go. I just don't know what came up with he and the owner and the management, but I felt like they could have given him time to end the season with them. At least they are going to play in Europe, so it gives them another opportunity, another exposure. At least it gives them that leverage. So I don't know why they couldn't solve some of these issues behind closed doors and had to bring it to the public and let go of the coach. It's unfortunate, but I don't think Angie has anything to any point to take at Emirates.
Okay, so looking at this game, Arsenal are playing Nottingham Forest. I want to find out from you, do you think because of the unbalance in the Nottingham Forest team with a new coach, the players now about to gel, would Arteta take advantage of it? Or do you think the 11:30 cares that comes on big teams, especially on Saturdays, would affect Arsenal?
Arsenal at home will beat Nottingham Forest. I mean, looking at how Postecoglou coming in, the boys know how they are going to play their game, right? But this is a manager coming in with a different system. Sometimes they forget the coaches when they're living with the entire backroom staff, from video analyst to assistant coach. Everybody's going, and you are bringing somebody new. I mean, just less than 2 weeks, they are going to build a relationship with them for a match against Arsenal at the Emirates. After Arsenal losing to Liverpool, no, Ben, Arsenal beats them, hands down.
Okay. You talking about Arsenal beating them. Let's move to the next fixture, where I think Newcastle against Wolves. Why Newcastle have raised a lot of concerns is they have two new strikers coming in, Nick Watamada and also Ian Wissa. I want to start from you, Prince. With Newcastle selling Alexander Isak, bringing in Wissa and also Watamada into their setup, do you think is a good upgrade for them? Now getting two players to replace Isak and Calvert-Lewin in their setup, do you think is an upgrade to them? And how are you looking at these players helping Newcastle against a game with a team that is struggling in this season, Wolves?
I think when we go back to when Alexander Isak came into this Newcastle setup, I think some few years ago from Real Sociedad, he picked up the momentum, and you could see the hunger in him, and he was that guy. You understand? He just fits into the EPL so well. I don't know if I can say for Tamade, who is who is coming from the German Bundesliga, and the system that they're going to play. We all know the coach, their coach. What's his name?
Eddie Howe.
Eddie Howe. He has to be a very good coach, a very tactical coach, and he's going to help him. At least there's an advantage in with the fact that there's an EPL experience from Jon Wissa, who has so much experience from the EPL, playing for Brentford all this year. So, personally for me, I think the Newcastle attack will definitely miss the Isak effect. They will definitely miss that Isak effect up front, because that guy was just ruthless. Honestly, when he gets the ball, you could see that he was just good with the ball. His feet, his head, he was just a complete striker up front. So I don't know how they are going to blend in with these two guys, because the Votamada guy is also good in the air. He has the height. He's very good in the air. But I don't know about his footworks. Compare that of
with his footworks, he's one of the best players when it comes to his height and ball controlling. He's very good with dribbling. He's very good with tight space controlling. And I think in Germany they call him the tall Messi, because his ball handling is very good. So with footworks, he's one of the best.
Okay, but you know one funny thing about this Bundesliga guys who come into the EPL, sometimes they find it difficult to settle in. We look at the likes of Timothy Werner, even Sesko that just came in, all these guys, Kai Havertz, they find it difficult to settle in the EPL. So I just believe from the coaching aspect, he might get a good coach who is who is an English guy who help him understand the English system quickly. And he also has the likes of Wissa, who has the EPL experience. I think one advantage he has is with the age. He's younger. He's way younger than Wissa. So at least he has enough years to learn from. He has some years to learn from Wissa before Wissa probably leaves the team or something, because he's a young guy who has enough age to play. So I can only wish him the best. But for now, I don't know what he has for us. Let's just wait and see.
Okay. As you said, we should wait and see. I want us to move to the next game. That is West Ham against Tottenham Hotspur. Thomas Frank really shocked you with that defeat against Bournemouth, because a win against Manchester City and a clean sheet, everyone was looking at Thomas Frank is on that top level, trying to make sure that he continues to maybe win Tottenham Hotspur their first Premier League. The defeat against Bournemouth, where he couldn't even get a lot of chances towards goal. What do you think went wrong on that particular game? And also, let's look at what he needs to do in a game against West Ham, who has also juvenated themselves in their last game against Nottingham Forest, getting 3-0 ahead of them.
So personally, I think with Tottenham Hotspur, I believe so well that from the loss against Bournemouth, there's another opportunity to pick up the pieces from here, because they went to Etihad and went to they picked the 3 points against City, and so when they came to the Bournemouth, I thought they could have at least pick up a point, but unfortunately they lost that game. And looking at the West Ham team, I think their last game they won 3 goals to nil before we went for the international break. West Ham also won 3 goals. And I just don't know how their coach, the former Chelsea coach, what's his name?
That is Graham Potter.
Graham Potter. I don't know how he managed to score against Nottingham Forest 3 goals. And it was just surprising, because looking at the game he played against Chelsea earlier and lost 5-1, and coming in against Nottingham Forest and won that game. I think it was a beautiful game. So I don't know how it's going to be. Kudus is going back to West London.
The London Stadium.
I don't know how that's going to turn out, because this is where he had been last 2 years, and meeting his old players, his old guys, and the euphoria and all those things. I know the fans are not going to make it easy for him, because this is someone who just left them to a London rival. So it's going to be a difficult game for them. But let's see how things will turn out in that game.
Okay, looking at the West Ham side, do you think Graham Potter likes working under pressure? Because after losing his first 2 games, going out of the Carabao Cup, and there were rumors of now West Ham speaking to Frank Lampard to come in and coach them. All of a sudden, he got a 3-0 win against Nottingham Forest. Do you think he's one coach who likes to work under pressure? And also, what do you think he needs to do to get this West Ham team beating, especially some of the big teams in the Premier League?
I think I guess you're asking me about
Graham Potter.
Graham Potter.
Yeah.
Honestly, Graham Potter needs to pick up the pieces from the winning yard against Nottingham Forest. You know, I think before that game, there was a press conference that he spoke angrily to a reporter, and the English media picked it up and made it a whole issue. But you could see he was under pressure and depression. You could see clearly that he was facing a bit of frustration in there. So I think he being a coach under process, he keeps growing. The mistakes will come in here and there, but I believe so that he has enough room to improve. Maybe West Ham might not give him that time. You know, these clubs want easy, quick results. They might not give him the room to be exploring, failing. So, and the unfortunate transfer has closed, and he might not have enough time to want to buy in some players now that the window is closed. He is fortunate to keep a player like Paqueta, who is his talisman now, since Kudus is no longer in the team. So let's just see what going forward he's going to put together and build up the squad for the subsequent games that are coming in. But I believe so that this game against Tottenham, he might not stand a chance. Honestly, he might not stand a chance against Tottenham.
Okay, so Ralph, let's look at Thomas Frank. He started very well, 2 wins with no goal conceded. Went in against Bournemouth and everything went off. He had one of the bad games for his season. Tottenham not getting at least 4 shots on goal. What do you think went wrong against Bournemouth? And also going into a game with West Ham, who are now picking crucial wins against Nottingham Forest. What should he do to be able to beat this West Ham team?
If there's one manager in the league I really respect, it is Andoni. Is it Andoni, the Bournemouth coach?
Yeah.
Fantastic manager. I mean, how he set up his team. I mean, when they played against Liverpool at Anfield, if not for Liverpool's resilience and the quality in attack, Liverpool would have drawn that game. So now, Thomas Frank picking the Tottenham Hotspur team. He's new to the game. I mean, he got his first win against Man City. Everybody was happy, and therefore they were expecting that he will be there as a top. No, but he's just also picking up. He's not there yet in terms of the quality the Bournemouth team has. Bournemouth have sold a lot of players, the Kekes, but the quality in that Bournemouth team is unmatched. They still have the top players in attack, Evan Nielsen, Anton Semenyo, fantastic players. But that was a wake-up call to Thomas Frank for him to understand that the win against Man City doesn't mean they have arrived. He still has work to do. Even though during preseason there were some patches, places, bad patches that he sorted out, but there's still work to do. The Premier League will expose you as a big manager. Thomas Frank is now in a big club, Hospes, where everybody will be focusing and looking at it. They're in the UEFA Champions League with the quality of players they have, but a smaller team. I don't even want to say Bournemouth is a small team. They're a top team in there. That is the beauty of the Premier League. So he still has work to do. Teams have figured him out how he's going to play his game. So therefore, he has to strategize and come back stronger.
Okay, so do you think there are new signings like Xavi Simons, your boy, and also Kolo Muani would bring a lot of attacking threat to this Tottenham team? So going into a game like West Ham, they shouldn't scare because they have Kolo Muani and also Xavi Simons. What are these 2 players bringing to this Tottenham Hotspur setup?
100%. But sometimes the Premier League can take you by surprise. Using Liverpool as a case study, we have Florian Wirtz also from the Bundesliga struggling. Until against Arsenal, he had a nice game, but prior to the Arsenal game, he was struggling a little bit. We understand it will take time for him to gel. Same as Xavi Simons. Yes, I don't know. Same for Xavi Simons. But Ben, you've been saying something. Lucky for some of the players, for Florian Wirtz, there is a Mohamed Salah who is always there to receive the pressure.
I was just about to mention his name. I don't think Wirtz is the only player that is suffering.
I think most of the Liverpool signings, apart from Hugo Ekitike, who has just stepped in.
Yeah, Kekes is also finding difficult.
Kekes had a fantastic game against Arsenal.
Arsenal, yes.
Kekes had a fantastic game.
I think sometimes it's the pressure moving to a big club.
It's a fantastic game. It's a fantastic game. Oh, Prince, no worry. So now, Ben, so what I'm saying is that Xavi Simons, I just want him to do his best. He's one player I personally like. And James Maddison is out. He should use the opportunity to shine. I mean, these guys want to play the Premier League. I mean, when you play in the Premier League, I mean, it makes you, it builds your CV as a player. So I want him to shine. Kolomwani, I'm not too sure he's going to get a starting place in their next game because they have Dominic Solanke as a centre forward leading the line. They have Richarlison and Kolomwani. All these three players are going to fight for the same position. Unless yes, exactly. Yes, unless Thomas Frank decides to do something different, switching positions here and there. So they have 4 natural centre forwards who are going to fight for positions. For Xavi Simons to keep his cool and play his normal game, he's going to excel. So I feel against West Ham, that game, they can get something out of that game. West Ham are also wounded, they're also coming up. But the quality they have in their team, the Xavi Simons, these are top players. So I feel they can get something out of that game.
Okay. Prince, let's look at the Burnley Liverpool game. The newly promoted side have picked 3 points each in their first. Burnley has picked 3 points, and this is the first time newly promoted side have picked 3 points in their first 3 games. Do you think going into this game, Alexander Isak joining Liverpool, should other clubs be scared of Liverpool now, adding an attacking power? The player who was competing with Mohamed Salah for the top title, that is the Golden Boot last season, now joining them. Do you think Liverpool are more dangerous, or with a lot of players coming in can now disturb their team from those firepowers?
Okay, I will speak for other teams and also speak for my team. Other teams should be scared, but my team, we are not scared.
Okay, you've already played them.
We've already faced them.
And you lost.
Honestly, Liverpool has one of the best attacks in the league, and even before Isak came in, they were that good. So adding up another firepower to it, honestly, was very difficult to swallow. I personally didn't want that deal to pull through, but it was quite unfortunate that it happened. It was quite unfortunate it happened. So other teams, I think it's going to put fear in any team who wants to come face to face with Liverpool. And one advantage in there is that they couldn't get a defensive the defender in Maguire. That was unfortunate. Yeah. And I think against Arsenal, you realize that Konate picked up an injury and he had to go off for Gomez to come in. So I think that might be an issue when the injury starts setting in their back line. So they might be ruthless up front, but behind, but they might be leaking at the back. So it is how the other teams will approach Liverpool going forward. So you might want to clearly use the Arsenal style, probably soak them and get a counter-attack or something. Unfortunately, Arteta's style didn't work out when we faced Liverpool, because you clearly saw that he just went in for a draw, and unfortunately, it turned out to be a lose in there. So other teams should just look for a way. I know some of these coaches in the EPL, those Bournemouth coaches, those Nottingham, those small teams, Everton, David Moyes, and those guys, they just craft something, and before you could see them, they will just score just a goal and defend. I remember last season when Southampton played against Man City. Southampton was 20th. They were good. They were already relegated, but they scored a goal against City, and City never came into the game till they just. So some of these teams, you might think you have the attack, you have this, you have the midfield, but if you just set up a high line or something and they just score a goal and that is it, they end the game. And so it might be good. It might be good on paper, but I think going forward, other coaches will set up a solid system and they might expose some of this Liverpool. I think Arteta did so well with Ekitike because when you realize the game we played against Liverpool, he didn't get just a shot on target. Salah, Ekitike were just out of the game. So some of these small coaches, some of these small teams, their coaches can deploy a strategy and they could just hit them on the counter and that's it.
Okay. So Raf, let's look at your main man is in Alexander Isak in this Liverpool setup. And he's one player Liverpool fans are looking at adding before the transfer window went to the end. And also they were looking at McGay who couldn't join. Isak joining Liverpool, do you think it would give a lot of rest to Hugo Ekitike? Or now there will be a lot of pressure on Hugo Ekitike to now decide if you'll be starting from the number 9 or he'll be on the wings. I know that has been most of the headache from some Liverpool fans. But with you, what do you think the problem would be? And how would Ancelotti balance these two expensive players joining Liverpool?
Ralph seems to be the happiest man on earth.
Of course. Ben.
Yes.
I know you were a game man, game center. When we were growing up, when we go to game center, and you are playing a game with somebody who is better than you, we have something called cheat code. X O X X W X X triangle. That is what we are coming to do. You will put cheat code.
So now Liverpool has got the cheat code. Alexander Isak
is the cheat code. AI, artificial intelligence, Isak. AI.
Okay.
Man, Isak, fantastic player. I was so happy. I mean, I've been watching Alexander Isak for some time now. Charlie, the guy knows how to play football. Aside he being very tall, he's very good with the ball at his feet. I don't know. But I think when Liverpool played in the Carabao Cup final, I saw Van Dijk having a conversation with him. Now, the transfers are being, look, the players are doing a lot of inside jobs for these transfers to happen. Yeah, and I'll not be surprised Van Dijk and some top players in the Liverpool team signal management team to go in for that player. And I'll not be surprised because there were pictures Van Dijk, you can see about Van Dijk's body language clearly that no, there's something going on. But then I didn't even pay attention to that until I saw the rumors gathering and I said, okay, wow, then it is possible this guy can come to Liverpool. But I feel he coming to Liverpool, our game against Burnley, he will not be playing that game because he has to be very fit. He basically went on strike at Newcastle. So with the Swedish national team too, I'm not sure. He didn't play a game. He was with the team. He trained on Wednesday.
He played
a second game.
Minutes.
Yes. Not even up to 30 minutes.
Just a few minutes.
So so he needs more match fitness. So aside the normal training the team has with the player, with the entire team, he's going to get a personal one-on-one training with the coaching staff or the coaching team so that he gets well prepared. He's yet to meet all the players. I mean, the big boys, they are all now coming back. Alexander Isak's arrival is going to help Liverpool. But as Prince said, defensively, we have some problems. We have some lapses with our defensive cover. But then our game against Arsenal has given me a different dimension as to the problem and how it could be solved. Because it's looked as if when Liverpool wants to defend what they can defend. So I don't know the problem. Arsenal were putting a lot of pressure on us, but we defended so well. After getting the goal when we got to about 73 to 80th minutes, I saw the Liverpool team defending so well. And I'm one person who I love a team that defends so well, right? So I saw that, it means that Liverpool can defend well. It's not that we have an entirely bad defense. I saw Mo Salah in our 18 box, hoofing the ball up. I saw them clearing their lines just to get a 3 points. You understand? I was very, very happy about that. So that same approach, the approach in which how we approach the Arsenal game, I believe, even if we meet a small team like Leeds United or West Ham, we should give them that respect. When we meet this team, we don't give them that respect. We met Bournemouth, we opened up, and then they exploited us and equalized all the 2 goals. We met Newcastle, we had a different ball game. They equalized all the 2 goals. We met Crystal Palace in the Community Shield, and things like that. So yeah, so I want Liverpool, any club we meet, we should give them that respect. Like we give Arsenal so much respect that Liverpool was careful. That game, Liverpool didn't settle to play its normal game. Trust me, we couldn't settle to play on because we know that they can cause us problems. They can cause us a lot of worries. So that defensive cover is there. When we want to defend, we should defend well. So Alexander Isak's arrival, of course, he will not be starting a game against Burnley. He'll be coming from the bench, Eketike, and then he'll be monitoring from afar. So I believe his arrival is going to give Liverpool a big push.
Okay, so let's look at the Burnley side. We have Scott Parker, your friend, leading the Burnley team. And do you think Scott Parker leading the Burnley team is something that would worry Liverpool? And what do you think he has out game? Because we saw him coming in with Fulham and going back on relegation, coming in with some of the teams and going back on relegation. This time, what should he do to be able to improve and make sure that this Burnley team can stay in the Premier League and also match with the big boys?
One of the first things Scott Parker has to do, or as a new manager in the Premier League, is to stay very solid defensively. All the managers who have been promoted to the Premier League, if you want to stay in the league, you have to stay very solid defensively. Make sure you don't concede too many goals. Don't go and play too entertaining. Don't go and enjoy yourself. No, there are some games where you can match the opponent boot for boot. Now you're coming up against Liverpool. I expect them to stay very solid. I quite remember when Sean Dyche was at Burnley. Sean Dyche everybody knows how Sean Dyche plays his game with his Tarkowski and those guys. To the extent that section of the media were criticizing him that he's parking the bus. They were constantly criticizing Sean Dyche of how he keeps parking the bus. He's not playing nice football. And the moment the guy decided to change his system, he got relegated. So I believe that if you're a manager and you have a particular system that works for you, stick to it. Don't listen to what the media are going to say. These guys who are operating or who are the analysts on these shows, some of them were giving clubs and they couldn't handle. Gary Neville went to Valencia, couldn't manage. So all I'm saying is that Scott Parker should be very, very solid defense. He has brought in Kyle Walker, very good defender, very good fullback by our standards. They should stay very solid defensively, even if they concede against the big boys. They shouldn't make it easier for them to be conceding goals. They should make opponents go through hell, just like how Nottingham Forest came. They were able to stay very solid defensively, and then that was what has helped them to move up on the league table. So I believe that is what he should do. Stay very solid defensively, hit on opponents on the counter-attack. One thing about counter-attack is that no matter how good a team you are, when even a small team has a counter-attack, and it's, for example, 3v2, the likelihood of them scoring is 90/100. Yes, there are instances where the player will miss, but any counter-attack, it will be difficult for you to stop unless the player decides to play it over the bar.
Counter-attack against Van Dijk.
Yeah, so Ben, I feel he should stay very solid defensive. That is what's going to help his team.
Okay, so let's look at the biggest game of the weekend. That is Manchester City against Man United, the Manchester derby. Both teams are coming into this game with a lot of injuries, where now Mamouche got a big injury in the African qualifiers, and also from the Man United side, before the break, Cunha also picked up an injury. Going into this game, both teams are also coming into these games with new goalkeepers. Man United coming in with Lemans, and also Man City coming in with Donnarumma. I want us to look at the inside of this game, then we'll go deeper into what we think would come up of this game. With Manchester City, they have scored 11 goals in their last 5 meetings with Man United. Erling Haaland is the competition top scorer. That is 3 as of now. And Trafford is ranked the second in saves per game. That is 7 saves per game. Looking at the Man United side, they have scored 7 goals in their last 5 meetings with Manchester City. And also, they haven't kept any clean sheets in 8 games. Cunha was the player with the most shot on target per game for Man United. That is 2.1. Would they be missing a player like Cunha in this game? And also, how should Ruben Amorim set his team up to defeat Manchester City again after doing that 2-1 at Etihad last season? So, Prince, let's look at it from the Ruben Amorim's side. Will Cunha play a big role, or is this the right time for Benjamin Sesko to step in and also get that early goal for Man United?
Yeah, I think it's two ways. It's either it is time for Sesko to step in, or it is time to push Bruno up front. You get it? Because when you look at the games he played against Guardiola last season, that he scored one, you could see the influence and impact of Bruno up front. You saw how Ahmad got those goals. You could see that Bruno was playing up front, and the likes of Martinez, the guy who's injured, he just crossed the ball in there for Ahmad to get the second goal. So you clearly saw that they didn't sit back. They didn't defend too much against City. They opened up and played and have Bruno play up front, and he helped him. So I believe Amorim is in his own ways. He should speak to himself. He should talk to himself. At least no one can advise you better than yourself if you're in such a situation. Yeah. If the three back is not working, do what works for you. You've met Guardiola on 2 occasions and you won against him. At Sporting, you won against him. You came to England. The first match you played against Guardiola, you won against him again. So you've made that statement already. I think you should just capitalize on that. Take advantage of the fact that he has an advantage going into this game. Unfortunate thing is that I think he's playing away from home. It's a City that's playing home. So he should just take advantage of the fact that he has a good record against Guardiola, and he should play Bruno up front or play Sesko. I don't know how Sesko, because in the international break he didn't play that well. When you look at the 2 games that he played, his rating wasn't that top. So, and since he came to United, he has not been in his best form. Honestly, he has not been in his best form. So going into a tough game like this, I don't know how he's going to bring in Sesko just to replace Cunha. But better still, whatever he feels like is going to work for him to get the 3 maximum points against City, who has issues with injuries. And honestly, I don't know how City is going to go into this game, because you have the likes of Foden injured. You have the likes of
Cheki.
And I don't know why they allowed Akanji to go to Inter Milan when you know very well.
It's a bad move. Bad move.
I don't know why.
I don't want to Guardiola.
A right back. You are still playing.
I think with Guardiola, the moment you show signs of you would like to leave, he will just allow you to go. He did it with Cancelo, and as of now, with the Portuguese national team, he's their best right back. Cancelo is literally one of the best right backs in the Saudi league, but still he allowed him.
Cancelo is the highest scoring defender in the Portuguese league, in the Portuguese
national team.
Yeah, and this guy plays right back, plays left back. You had a guy like this guy, Dumfries, that was going for 25 million. You could have gone for this guy who is also very good, a Dutch guy. And I don't know why he keeps playing Rico Lewis, who is also injured now. Now he's going to play.
Now he plays Matthias Nunes at the right back.
Nunes at the right back.
From last season.
And I don't know why he still keeps doing this to himself, because Guardiola, we know, has this experience and knows how to make players pick up their best. And now, unfortunately, Doku is going back to the bench for some games now. He had a very good preseason, and he just, I think when he started the league, he started playing Mamouche, and he just took the guy back to the bench. I don't know how that guy will have the momentum and a zeal to play against. So I just believe we should just. Amoy should just speak to himself. He should just get the best players on the field. And he shouldn't play the players out of position. That's one issue. You shouldn't play the players. Play them in the rightful positions. When you feel like going into the game, the 3-back is not working, switch it into a 4-back system. there's nothing wrong with switching to get your point. I don't know, but Amorim is his own enemy in this case. Honestly, it's his own enemy. So we can all wish him all the best because personally for me, I don't want City to take the 3 points because we know how City is dangerous when we go into the January curve. So they should start dropping points from now.
Okay, Ralph, let's look at Pep Guardiola. This is his first season, losing 2 games, first 3 games in any league he has played, from the Spanish La Liga to the Bundesliga and now to the Premier League. Do you think Pep Guardiola has an issue of overthinking and causing him when it comes to games? And should we believe that Pep Guardiola panics when there is pressure on him, especially with this Manchester City team? We talked about the likes of Akanji, Cancelo, even some of the players being allowed to go, the likes of Jack Grealish and also the rest. Do you think when pressure sets in, Pep Guardiola gets to panic and something like this gets to happen? And what can they do against a Ruben Amorim side who he hasn't defeated from Sporting back to Man United? What should he do to get the best out of this Man City team?
Wow. Ben, the game is balanced. It's a 50-50 game. Both teams are not too solid for me. For the first time, I have seen a Manchester City team very, very porous. I've seen a City team with so much weakness. Hey, for the first time. So I feel Guardiola has done his best. Unfortunately, he renewed his contract. I mean, he has done his best. I think he has seen it all in terms of club football with Manchester City. He's declining now. There's nothing he's going to do that. If he works again, then it means the Premier League managers are not learning enough. It means the Premier League managers are not learning. Guardiola has done it. He has won a league for, if I'm correct, 5 consecutive times on the road. 4 times on the road. Exactly. It means our managers are not learning. So look, managers are coming with different strategies to stop Guardiola. He's also overthinking, Ben said. Now, Ben reached the point that, is he under pressure? I'm not sure he's under pressure. I can't remember a season whereby they won the league, if I'll be correct. Vincent Kompany scored a goal against Leicester City. If not 2021.
Yeah.
Yes. That between that year, 2020, 21, that season.
And that was the season that started their for-peat trophies.
Yeah.
Yes. Ben, Liverpool needed City to just drop 1 point. City won 13 games on the road and they won the league. The guy, he likes pressure. He can play under pressure. But it's not about pressure now. The individual players he has now, they are not up to the task. I don't know why he let Ederson leave. You said you want a ball-playing goalkeeper. One of the goalkeepers who has, if in the history of the Premier League, goalkeeper who has more assists, Ben can help me with that, if I'm correct,
Ederson,
has more assists than any other goalkeeper. It is Ederson.
That is
Donnarumma. Yes. Donnarumma is an excellent goalkeeper, good reflexes, but it's not good with the ball at his feet. So I don't know why Guardiola decided to allow that good goalkeeper to leave Donnarumma. Yes, he wants a fresh face in the dressing room. And as we stated earlier, if you are showing some signs of leaving, he allows it. But there are some players you have to just allow them to let them be in the club. Now he doesn't have that Kevin De Bruyne who can play just one pass and then they are through on goal. Bernardo Silva is declining. Iko Ghana is left. Mamouche has picked an injury. Look, the team has been a bit broken. As to if he can fix, last season he had some problems. He signed a guy from, is it Romania, Kusanov or something. He couldn't play after 15 games. He had a problem. Yes, Guardiola dropped him. Manuel Akanji, excellent. I don't know the technical problems why I allow Manuel Akanji to leave. But the current players he's using, they are not scary. They can't put fear in defenders. Rico Lewis, no, these guys are not defenders who can match up to the likes of maybe Guy Corres and the big boys. Even this Callum Wilson and the guys. These guys are big boys. You need strong guys who can be able to come up against them. So against Manchester City, it is there. Amorim can win that game. He should inspire his boys. They should have a reason to play. That this City team is not the best of City teams for the past 2 seasons now. They've not had the best of teams. He can go in and win that game. They should just have that confidence, and I believe they can get something from that game.
Okay, so I want us to look at the goalkeepers. 2 goalkeepers coming in for their debut in a derby like this. That is Lemans coming in for Man United. He's a young goalkeeper coming in for Royal Antwerp. Do you think it was a big mistake Man United allowing Onana to leave, especially with the new goalkeeper coming in? And also, what are we expecting from a new goalkeeper like Lemens coming into the Manchester City, Man United team?
Ben, I don't know, but I've now understood that sometimes you as a player, you have to stay off social media for some time. I can't remember Liverpool had this centre back, Dejan Lovren. He was heavily criticized to the extent that he has to deactivate his socials, Instagram, Facebook, X, everything off. The problem Onana is having is not goalkeeping issue. It's a mental issue, psychologically. The constant bashing. Look, the slightest of mistakes, even if it's not Ando Onana, they are going to point fingers at him. The Cameroon played against DR Congo. No, is it DR Congo? And they considered a goal. They are saying it's Onana's fault. What Onana is facing at Man United, I don't know, but it's psychological. And I'm happy as let Man United I'm very happy as an African and my fellow African player who is playing for Man. It's a big step, and then he has folded under the pressure. He's now moving on to a new league. No pressure, no media pressure, no unnecessary. No, he should just go play his game, do his thing. And the new goalkeepers come in, they should buy him. They're coming to fill big boots in the Man United team. The English media always want stories. They're going to put pressure on you. The least mistakes you do, they pick on you, unless you are not vocal. The moment a goalkeeper comes out to expect, no, they're going to put pressure on you. But then with Donnarumma, of course, he has experience. We know what he can do from AC Milan to Paris Saint-Germain. He has seen it.
So Prince, with just some few minutes, I want you to touch on Donnarumma. Do you think he's the ideal goalkeeper to change Pep Guardiola's team? And is Pep Guardiola going against his own philosophy of playing with a ball-playing goalkeeper in Donnarumma?
Personally, I really don't know why he had to let Edison go, because this is a keeper that has given you the best. That's given you all these leagues all these trophies that you won. And I just don't know why he just gets up and wants to let him go. I think after Bravo left City, this guy has proven his worth. Coming in from, I think, one of these Portuguese teams or maybe one of these Brazilian teams. And he has done so well to keep the post so high. Probably he dipped in form for some few times and had Ortega come in. But I think he and Ortega were so good. They complemented each other so well. And I just didn't know why he had to let him go and go for Donnarumma, who, fine, he won the Champions League for PSG last season with some of his remarkable saves that he did against the likes of Aston Villa and even Liverpool. So I don't know. I just don't know why Guardiola. But Guardiola is an overthinking coach. He just overthinks and does things, and you question yourself why he wants to take that decision. But let's just hope it turns out good for him.
Okay, so with a quick prediction, let's look at the Manchester City Arsenal game. Prince, what is your prediction for this game?
The United City game.
Yeah, Manchester City versus Man United game.
Okay, so yeah. I see a 2-1 in favor of United.
Ralph, what is your quick prediction on the Man City versus Man United game?
I see a 2-1 in favor of Man United. With Cunha, if Ben, please, will Cunha be available for that game?
No, Cunha is not available.
Okay. I still see a 2-1 for Man United. City are struggling. Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at some of the games. I'll just mention the game and we give our score prediction on the game. So, Prince, Brentford against Chelsea.
That game could come out as a draw because most of the times I've gone to the fixtures and I realized that it's either a slight win for Chelsea or a draw. So it might be a 1-1 draw for Chelsea against Brentford.
Okay, Ralph, let's look at Everton versus Aston Villa.
I see Everton winning that game by 1-0 at home.
Prince, the last game, Crystal Palace versus Sunderland.
Crystal Palace with their coach and having to keep Maguire might still keep their defense so solid like they did against Chelsea. I see a 2-0 against Sunderland.
Okay. And Ralph, your last game, I think one of the most exciting games coming up this weekend, people are not looking at two top coaches Bournemouth against Brighton. What would be the scoreline for this game?
Wow. Big match. 1-1. 1-1.
1-1.
Scoring draw. Yeah.
Okay. So today you joined us on the EPL preview. We look at some of the games coming up, some of the transfer that came in. So we looked at the main game, Manchester City versus Man United, looking at what needs to happen in that game. My pundits are tipping Man United to win that game by 2-1. So we'll look at that game. After the game, when on our next preview, we'll look at what happened for Ruben Amorim, if he was able to win that game, or what did Pep Guardiola do to be able to outsmart Ruben Amorim. Thank you all for joining us on Tactics and Touchline.